Hey, Laura Reagan here, your host of Therapy Chat. I'm sitting in my backyard. It's Saturday afternoon, and I've been taking it easy today. I have not really been doing any work. This is a little work, though. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys about what's coming up with Therapy Chat. So I've got a fun series happening this summer, and technically it's starting in the spring. I'm also throwing a ball for my dog at the same time. Let's see if I can, okay. She's gonna put the slimy ball on me, and I'm wearing white pants, and so they're gonna be covered in dog slobber and dirt, but she's happy, so I'm happy. So here's what's coming up. I've got a practice building series starting. It's actually already started on Friday, yesterday, June 3rd. My practice building series is a little departure from what I usually do on Therapy Chat, but I know a lot of people who listen are therapists, and there are also a lot of new grads coming out of grad school right now, and people who are thinking about going into private practice. There's a lot of information out there. We don't know how to do it. We don't usually learn in school. And for me, I was fortunate to get a lot of help from other people. So now people ask me how I've built my practice, and I wanted to share that information through the podcast where a lot of people can hear it, and you can go back and listen to it later if you miss it now, because podcasts are there forever. There's my beautiful recycling bin. So that looks better. So I'm just going to tell you what the topics are and the guests who are going to be on the 8-episode series of the practice building. Oh, I had to pause because of a bad connection. So here's what's coming up. I'm going to have to read this because I'm not good with memorizing. But my first episode was this Friday, and my guest was Dr. Colleen Mullen, who's a San Diego psychologist and coach, and she's also the host of a podcast called Coaching Through Chaos. And Colleen and I, both as entrepreneurs, we really have talked a lot about how, you know, entrepreneurship is like a non-stop 24/7 type of job. So she came on to talk about sort of identifying entrepreneur burnout and how to avoid it. So I thought that was really helpful because we don't always talk about that. A lot of us entrepreneurs, what we talk about is more, how we can do more, what I'm trying now, what the new thing I'm doing. And it's kind of like we encourage each other to sort of overwork at times. So I felt like this was a topic that I know I enjoyed talking about, and I think a lot of other people would probably benefit from hearing about it too. So that is live now, and this series is going to run every other week. So on alternating weeks, I'll just have my usual type of content, but the practice building series will be for 8 episodes on alternating weeks, starting with June 3rd. So you can listen now to the episode with Colleen Mullen of Coaching Through Chaos, and then after that will be Joe Sanok. Many people know from very successful Practice of the Practice podcast. It's a practice building podcast. He's a Michigan counselor, and he talked with me about kind of making the most of your time management, productivity, and basically how he does it all, because he does a ton of stuff. He has a group practice, he has a podcast, he has a family, and he supervises, and he does a ton of stuff. So I thought it would be good to hear from him how he manages to fit it all in. And I was pretty surprised at some of the things that he does to make it work. So you'll want to hear that. And then I had Kat Love, who's a website designer, all the way from Greece. My definitely by far the guest who was the most far away that I've spoken to. And Kat talks about designing a website that really represents you. I think it's really important to have a website, so I wanted to have someone who understands about how to design them and how to make them work for you. And so Kat talks about that. And then I was fortunate to interview the awesome Kelly and Miranda from Zinni Me, who have taught me so much through their business school boot camp. Telling me I got a bad connection. So you probably can tell it's probably freezing up, but hopefully that's better. I just try to make it better. So it says it's weak. We'll see. Anyway, Kelly and Miranda, that was my first interview with two people at once, which was, I thought it would be challenging, but they made it easy. And they talked about, I wanted them to talk about how to market to your ideal client and niching, or niching as some people say. I say both. And they actually kind of broke it down better. Hey Deb! My first audience for my first live broadcast. So I'm just telling everyone, Deb, about my practice building series. So I was telling them how Kelly and Miranda from Zinni Me are going to be guests on the practice building series to talk about not just finding your ideal client and niching, but how to really do your very best work by working with the clients that you do the best work with and helping them find you so that they can get the great services that you love providing, which is a little bit different from, you know, the whole ideal client concept. And they set me straight on the way I was thinking about that. And then I have Brad Kleiner from Therapy Notes to talk about having a practice management software program. I had to have somebody to talk about a practice management software program because when I started my practice, I could not have kept it going without a practice management program. I have it's an EHR, an electronic health record that I can keep all my notes in, my progress notes, but it also does tracking all of the payments I receive and calendar. Hi, Deb. Woo, thumbs up. So, hey, Sharon, gave me a thumbs up too. Hi, Sharon. Woo, it feels like a big star now. I got 2 people checking in. So anyway, Brad talks about not just Therapy Notes, but the benefits of having an electronic health record and practice management program and how it can help us work more efficiently, make the most of our time, keep track of things really well. Looks like I have something on my nose. Okay. And then I talked with Samantha Rodman, who's also known as Dr. Psych Mom, one of the most prolific bloggers I know. She's a psychologist here in my local area, but she has a nationally read blog called Dr. Psych Mom, and she also she writes for a lot of different venues. So not just her personal blog, but she has things published in the New York Times, the Washington Post, all kinds of stuff. And she has 2 books. She's a mom of 3 little kids and has a private practice. So I really wanted to ask her to talk about how she really does it. There's a funny story about how she and I met for the first time and how she was multitasking even while we were having our little meeting. She's amazing at being able to make the most of her time, so you'll want to hear her tips. And then I also will have the wonderful Melvin Varghese, who's taught me everything I know about podcasting. He's going to talk to you about how therapists can use podcasting to grow our businesses and all of the ways that podcasting can benefit us. Melvin is like a guru to me with podcasting, and you know, he's a great person, so he's very relatable. And last but not least, I have business coach and strategist. Oh, I forgot someone. But I also have business coach and strategist Tara Gentili, who's going to talk about finding ways to market your practice that resonate for you, and basically how to market as therapists in a way that you don't hate it and it works for you. Tara is a super great, really smart business coach who does a ton of great stuff, and I think you're going to love what she had to say. It was a very inspiring conversation. And then there's one more person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I actually have 9 people. It's not just 8. The 9th person is Allison Puryear from Abundance Practice Building, who's going to talk about the abundance mindset in building your private practice. So I'm super looking forward to that too. So I hope you all will tune in to the practice building series that's coming out, and as always, please go to iTunes and leave a rating and review for Therapy Chat, and subscribe so you can get the latest episodes. I got my family waving at me, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Great seeing you, Deb, and thanks Sharon for your little thumbs up too, and I'll see y'all later. Enjoy the weekend.